This is Dr. Nicole Ellison, and this video is going to discuss CAD standards, specifically line weights, and organizations have different CAD standards. And the idea is that no matter what department you work in, if you work for this company, you're going to use the same standards in creating drawings so that they come from and have the same quality of the firm. And this is an example CAD standards user's guide that I pulled from the internet from the Forest Service. It's dated. And these CAD standards are often, this document itself is 116 pages, and they contain all the CAD standards that start from what your standard sheet sizes are, your title blocks, where you put your date stamp, and depending on which firm you work for, you're going to need to follow their CAD standards. So in this course, I'm going to be introducing what those are. And one of the important things that we use when we are drawing is we use line weights and layers. And so that helps us to distinguish more about what we're drawing. So let me show you an example. So we are going to be taking a design of a 3D structure, and we're going to convert it into 2D for AutoCAD. And so when we do that, we want to show our line weights differently depending on what we're drawing and on how it's being shown. So for example, here you see this house, and if we're going to make a cut through the house, anything we cut through, those are typically going to have or be drawn in heavy solid lines. And then things that are below it might be shown in as darker lines. We could also use this to emphasize perhaps columns are in a darker line than something that is less important than columns. And depending on your firm, you'll typically have a standard line weight for each of these objects: walls, footings, columns, text, dimensions. We're also going to change the line type. So, for example, where we have footings that are below or something that is below or hidden, we might show it dashed versus as a solid line. And we also might show a dimension line in a certain way. So this dimension line here has arrows on each side. And again, grid lines might be dashed. The other thing we want to do is we want to draw our elements on a specific layer, because what's going to happen potentially is that we are going to merge our drawings with other people's drawings, meaning our drawings are the civil or the structural drawings, and we might overlay the architect's drawings or the mechanical's drawings. And so we want to differentiate what we've drawn from what they've drawn. And so we're going to give our line weights and our layers a name. So here you can see A doors, A electrical. And each of these colors corresponds to a line weight. So you might show walls on a darker line weight than you show your doors, for example. We are going to want to call our layer, start every layer that we have with an S or struck or a C to identify that that is a structural column or a structural wall, because you could certainly have some walls that are architectural but not structural. And we also want to draw each of our elements on a different layer so that we can potentially isolate the layers and turn things on and off. Have more and more information on them, we could say, okay, I'm going to freeze all the text or all the dimensions, and I just want to see the columns and the footings. There's layers such as S wall, S column, S text, S hatch. So when we go in to draw a wall, we'll put that onto S wall. If we're drawing footings, we'll put it on S footing. If we're annotating with text, we'll put it on as text. So we'll have a variety of layers, hatching and text and things like that we'll use in this course.